you take such a gamble now because with the pandemic and everything, the market's been flooded with those repro and knockoff cartridges. So
worth more. All right, we're going live.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Listen to Brent.
I meant to pull up YouTube and I just pulled up Netflix by accident.
We are live, so let me know when y'all see us go up. No, I should sound like a robot, so I'm watching it freak out over here.
All right, Brent, I got you, man. I'll see you those, and I got you 2 still copies of these. Right, Brent,
Netflix and more.
Nice.
I haven't gotten to you yet. Keep talking, Richard.
Nice.
I haven't gotten to you yet. Keep talking, Richard.
Yeah,
Still sound broken.
Richard sounds broken, robotic.
Y'all sound fine, right?
Yeah, Richard sounds broken. Richard sounds broken, robotic.
Mic test, mic test, mic test, mic test, mic test, mic test, mic test. It's fine. Podcast sounds fine. There's me.
Now we're live.
Oh, shit. It's almost $600,000. Jesus. It's a monster. I'm not getting go live notifications. No, podcast went offline. Trust. Maybe I have to. There it is. One viewer. We're live.
I'm back. My bad.
Why am I a fucking robot? I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate
They
that.
they had that
robot. At least y'all don't hear it.
as well.
It pisses me off.
Those two were it. I just stopped by there on my lunch break.
That's there. Did they have the?
I was in the area.
Got that one too. What else did you add for your?
I don't know. I think they open at like.
Next generation.
Trying to remember if they open at like 12 or something. I'm gonna have to see. But I'm gonna take my son up there. Because they got a lot in there.
Meet you there Monday. What time are you planning on going Monday?
Told the gentleman at the counter. I will easily get myself in trouble in here. Yeah. That's just what they're. That's just what I have here. Where I got the receipt. Yeah. Unless they just haven't changed that yet.
5222. Same street name.
Yeah. I know it'll take me an hour or so to get up there. Yeah. It
Brent will take me 22 minutes. That will be.
I'm off. Anyway.
You're off the whole week, Brent.
Yeah.
I may not be.
Oh yeah. I took the whole week.
Just go there every day.
Including
oh, you're taking.
including Christmas.
Just go on lunch break again.
Be that guy like clerks. You'll show up there every day.
Right.
So.
Right. I'll say
Like James Bob, yeah.
$20, little man. Put that shit right in my hand.
Put the maniac in mania.
Glad. No, you might have told me, but I don't think I've actually known or seen the person.
So, do you remember the PSP lady? Were you around for the PSP lady days?
I think you've mentioned this lady. She's the one that would come in and like just she would look for PSP stuff. She would always bring the PSP stuff.
She was coined the PSP lady, and then she had a child, and then so we had PSP baby.
Yeah,
well.
you've mentioned this lady before.
PSP lady and PSP baby. Yeah, a mix of both. And she would occasionally have.
Yeah. Enjoy our 1 hour interlude. Let's go.
PSP lady and PSP baby. They knew what was up.
I did.
All right. I'm not looking at my thing quivering. It just pisses me off. Y'all ready to rock and roll?
I'm pretty sure I made it 188.
Brand, I had to up our troubleshooting. Yeah, basically. Come for the pre-show. Brand, I had to tell the episode number.
Brand, I'm not complaining. You put a majority of the news on there. So.
Our last one was 187. Maybe I edited it on top of you, because I know I had to go in there and do it, because I was like, wait a minute, did we do 187? Because I made us no outside food and drink. No, man, or you'll do it after the fact. Yeah, you did the Lord's work. I'm giving you a hard time. It is not a big deal.
You're listening to NOFODcast number 188.
If not,
186, 188, 189.
What are you laughing at?
Oh God! What are they putting the podcast backwards after here?
Robot, a speaking spell. 180 666. We're gonna get there. Oh man, I still tell you, y'all go watch that Player One, or listen to the Player One podcast 666, where they do that. It's a little bit better. I think it's a paid version of what you have. So sorry. He jumps in and out of character like we did with you.
Yes. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Good.
Yes.
It is awesome. The devil voice.
We're good now.
All right, y'all ready to go live? Well, we're already live. You ready to record? It's fucking 9 o'clock. I think that was a yes. It was mumbled. You were you were in the voices. It was like computerized. Yeah.
Live correction.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 188 of the NOFODcast. We are on no outside food or drink. Not as someone alluded to last week.
That was
incorrect. We will ban you for outside foods or drinks. You do not have to have both. Live correction of last week. They will both, each individually will disqualify you for entrance on each one of its own merits. Tonight, what was that? Sure. Please take off your metallic glasses. This week we have another Sony acquisition? ?
No, he just showed on every other device in the game.
Yeah.
So possible that's not his.
Official PS5 customization.
Whatever that mobile app was on the mobile phone, or
customization in the
whatever other forgettable adventures he went on.
Who would want to play those old games?
He had his
Get
lost weekend apparently.
play Splinter Cell. Can y'all play? Recon and everything else. Surprised he's not been a Fortnite unlockable yet.
So it will be brand. It will be brand.
Nintendo correspondent.
There was a Nintendo Indie World Showcase on Lost Weekend. Sam Fisher's Lost Weekend. There was a Nintendo Indie World Showcase. Someone will have to take that one. I caught bits and pieces of it.
Oh man.
Yeah, Brad's story.
What's up, sir? What's up, sir?
We have your mid-December Game Pass games. There's some interesting ones in there. And
the host with the leases.
So on that whole Genesis game thing, I thought I had Cinti on there, and almost immediately. I was like, oh shit, Cinti. I was like, Cinti. I was like, this is the best value in gaming ever.
And last but not least, our third co-host.
I was literally getting ready to buy and check that list. I was like, oh, this is Dynamite Heady. Damn it. I think I got too excited. It's like my
Oh please! If they put, I know if you put Crusader of Cinti on anything, that's got to be an immediate buy, right? That's immediate validation.
Was it Killer 7 commercial? Or something?
My favorite Genesis game is on there, but like Brand has pointed out, I've got it on 3 other formats and ways to play that already. There's no need for that one. But we will get to that later. First off, since it's Friday night, let's go ahead and start stumbling into our Lost Weekends. Friday night. Another Sony acquisition. What could that be? From Gamatsu, Sony Interactive Entertainment acquires Valkyrie Entertainment. It's the battle of the entertainments here. They're going to create the Sony Entertainment System. Probably not. A Seattle-based support studio is the subtitle. Valkyrie Entertainment previously worked with Sony Interactive Entertainment Santa Monica studio on God of War in 2018 and is also contributing to the upcoming God of War Ragnarok. It was also the developer of Sony Interactive Entertainment published title Guns Up. Other recent contributions by the studio include League of Legends, Valorant, Halo Infinite, Forza Motorsport 7, State of Decay 2, Middle-earth, Shadow of War, and more. According to PlayStation Studios head Herman Hulst, Valkyrie Entertainment will be making valuable contributions to key PlayStation Studios franchises. That's also something I would say if I brought somebody on board as well.
Yeah.
We need to contribute. That's all they have to do.
No.
I'm sorry. They
sound familiar.
They're going to be making invaluable contributions. That's a hell of a resume, though. League of Legends, Valorant, Halo, Forza, State of Decay, Middle-earth.
You know what? You don't have the internet in our hands.
Games, right? I don't remember Guns Up. Did anybody play Guns Up?
All I got was Guns Up famous controversial slogan enhancing tech university. Oh, here's the other one. Guns Up is a free-to-play action strategy game developed by Valkyrie Entertainment, published by Sony Computer Entertainment.
You have guns and you put them up.
I don't know. It just says on here is received mixed reception from critics who commend its accessibility but criticize its lack of complexity, microtransactions, gameplay, blah blah blah.
Yeah, we knew that. What do you do in there? Put your guns up.
Complexity.
The
game tasks players with creating an impenetrable base and an army to attack the bases of other players. It sounds like a mobile game, or StarCraft or Warcraft or whatever base.
Criticized its lack of microtransactions. Did I hear that right?
Where are my loot boxes?
More microtransactions.
And my pictures of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, the menace. Public enemy number 1.
Real quick, there was another acquisition that I forgot to put on here, but it's just a real quick one. Tencent is at it again. And they just picked up Back 4 Blood developer Turtle Rock Studios.
Pretty good, James. All right, that's all for Valkyrie Entertainment.
Yeah, pretty much. Like there's Sumo Digital, man. It's just you get that whole sense of security. So, because I mean, you got to look at Turtle Rock. They went to Valve, and then they were before they were doing that Back 4 Blood before Warner Brothers.
Everything, right? Just gives them flush with
that was
cash.
2K.
Yeah. Because Tencent's not confined to anything.
So I mean, I can see that that's a good deal for them in my opinion because I mean they've been bounced around a couple of times, so I can see why they would do that. Even though you deal with the
Who
controversy
published that Evolve game
of how
itself,
everybody
but-
feels about China, but
God, I tried. I wanted to like that game so bad. It was trash. God, it was so bad.
Yeah. It looks like a madman.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Security is key.
you going blind? What's happening? He's just
I see him. Oh my
Is
gosh.
everybody- I'm on the next news story. Is everybody see Jeff
Richard.
Keighley on there?
I,
I mean, do you like?
I was looking at the Pee Wee Herman pose. I wasn't looking at that. I'm trying to figure out what's happening. Yeah.
There's other prominent. Huh? There's other prominent features. Going on. This is the screen capture they put on here for Jeff Keighley. I'm like, what the hell's happening?
I think we all agreed we were just gonna kind of
No.
Oh, you had it.
See
No.
All right, let's hear about these Pee-wees, the Keigleys. This comes from The Verge. There was a giant rundown of the Game Awards.
I
Did
didn't
you
watch
guys
the beginning.
this in real time?
I think
I did not.
one of my
I was indisposed.
non-drug induced
Well,
versions of watching
If I had
anime
been
back to
around,
back.
I would've
It's a
watched it, but I
non-drug
heard it
induced.
ended up being, like,
I don't do drug
mostly
people.
commercials and big advertising.
I-
Well, it's, it's always like
And
previews,
didn't feel like
things
playing a
that,
game.
but
I
it's
ended up
more of
firing
a-
up, and I saw like the middle of the show to the end of it,
push.
and it's like you said. It was just mostly commercials and trailers, and not all the trailers on there were anything huge, game announcement wise. So I mean, there wasn't like that Nintendo Breath of the Wild esque type thing or anything from Sony. Microsoft, they had the Hellblade 2, the latest trailer on that one. I don't think they had a release date on that yet. I think they just showed progress. The expansion for Brant's favorite game, Cuphead, was coming out June 30th.
finally.
Still nothing on.
Right.
It has been.
It's been announced and showed off like twice.
It's like the new Silk song, which has been announced, and nobody knows when that's coming out. So, which Brant will go talk about once he gets to the indie show, because that was the first thing everybody bitched about. Was like, no Silk song.
I feel like that he was announced a long time ago.
So,
Yeah.
from The Verge, and this is all from Andrew Webster. They went into details about the Matrix, using that Unreal Engine 5 for that preview that we're waiting on. No.
Yes.
It's gonna disappoint everybody twice this show.
Here notes.
Just like
My favorite thing in the show was probably the Alan Wake 2. Then they confirmed that was moving to survival horror. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's just because that's what they wanted to do with that character, I guess, or whatever, why they got it back and went to Epic for their deal.
Okay, good. Brant. Well,
You had. I literally did nothing, so it's probably just something screwed up. I don't know.
that was a
nothing's
big
changed.
announcement. And the
Because my mouth is literally on the mic, so. The Silent Hill creator returns with Slitterhead,
You sounded really bad.
which was just
I don't know
a
if you changed, but he sounded
weird. I don't know. It's like
fine.
the
It was way
people's
better.
heads coming apart in different areas, and
Some angle somewhere.
it looks early, so I'm not going to be judgmental of it. So, no, it doesn't look like that at all, or not from what I can tell from that preview. I mean, that studio just formed, and that game is I guess they just wanted to get excitement behind it, but it looked early. Let's put it that way. Looked like something that could have been on PS3. Elden Ring, we got the story trailer for that one. That was one of their big announcements where they kind of did the background and set up the story for this game. I didn't. Yeah, everybody's got their excitement for that going on. We had a good look at the Suicide Squad game, which looks pretty good.
It does. And watching that trailer, the kind of like action and traversal kind of reminded me of Sunset Overdrive a little bit.
Yeah, and it's colorful too.
Yeah.
Then we had a announcement for Wonder Woman from Monolith Studios. They are using the Nemesis system from their Lord of the Rings games in this.
Sunset Overdrive had great traversal. which was awesome. I cannot believe we never saw that in anything else to that scale.
Then we
That
got a
is
confirmation
cool.
for Final Fantasy VII
Orcs
Remake
were,
is
you
coming
would take that
to
orc or it would
PC
kill you, and they would
through
remember
the
you,
Epic
or
Games Store.
the people around it
And that was
would fear
December
you, and
16, which is
their ranks
available to
would shuffle,
download
and they
since
would move up
yesterday.
and down in like captaincy and things like that. And it was
Another
that
big
game was
one.
awesome. That was one of the first PS4 games
Yes,
I played.
yes.
Looks like.
This is
Crap,
complete.
This is great.
I guess they're still doing their Epic Games exclusives with Square Enix to everybody's disappointment. I don't care either way. That's my personal opinion on it, but neither here nor there.
Wow.
We had Quantic Dream was making a Star Wars
That's the
game
full- is that the
called
full one that
Eclipse.
comes with it?
All of it was concept CG. It looked interesting, but nothing. You know how they are. Nothing the gameplay has been shown yet, and there's no telling when that'll come out. So,
And it says it's, I guess, going to be a little bit more action oriented. So we'll see how that does, considering how their games usually play out.
Yeah, or
I love
breaking the
heavy
game and
rain,
screaming
but I
Sean at the end of the game
haven't
constantly.
played
To Richard's favoriteness or dismay that I don't know if you probably saw it already on there. Halo the series had its first trailer from Paramount Plus. Just like then we had Among Us is coming to VR, which that's cool, I guess. It's coming to VR, PlayStation VR, and the newly named MetaQuest. Yeah.
Doesn't look bad.
Google Play games are coming to PC.
With this, you know what snip of it looked good to me.
It was in beta, and
You
so
figured.
far the Amazon App Store is the only one that is part of that beta. So this is officially from Android, and Android will actually curate that store. Microsoft has nothing to do with it. So
Wasn't that already coming with like the Android Windows integration stuff coming up?
yeah, it's like their official version of BlueStacks, basically. So
Oh. Okay.
yeah. So we had Sonic 2 official trailer.
Wow. That's probably the biggest news from this Game Awards then.
You
5
can
years
definitely
from
see
now
that
is when that's
very well,
gonna be
yes.
the
You can
carryover, I think.
definitely see that they got more money for this film. CG looks way better.
Yep. I use that to demo some things here and there.
I think I bought the first movie at like Walmart on one of these promotion racks for like $5 or something. I still haven't watched
I haven't
it.
watched it either. I bought it too. Yeah.
I enjoyed that first movie. I'm looking forward to this. That first movie's
Yeah.
good.
They also gave us their first look at an open zone game called Sonic Frontiers, which is coming out in
You
2022.
haven't watched it yet? It's good.
Yeah,
Well,
Sonic
people have
Breath of the Wild.
coin,
my kids
yes.
think the
Because
lore
of course everything has to be based off that. Dune Spice Wars is an RTS spinoff. That's coming out in PC in 2022 in early access. And then we mentioned that Hellblade 2 was showing a new trailer. Cuphead expansion release date was finally announced after was it like a 50 or 60-esque singing court like triplet or trio. Yeah. Apparently there's another chill League of Legends album. I don't know what this means. I don't remember seeing the art. Yeah. Another big news was PUBG was now free to play, which is huge.
There was live music and a band and like dancers and stuff out there.
Another good one was Star Trek gets a Telltale style adventure. It's called Resurgence. It's coming to Xbox, PlayStation, Epic Game Store, and it looks like it's using a new engine. It doesn't use it's not using that old style engine they always had. So
it was already by this point.
Be interesting to see what that looks like. They're also making an Expanse game, and it's being co-developed by the Life is Strange Studio Deck 9 people, which I think they're the ones who just did the new Life is Strange. So, Thirsty Suitors, I guess according to this article, has strong Scott Pilgrim vibes. I did not see this, so The latest release from Falcom Age developer Outlooper Games is called Thirsty Suitors and is described as a narrative action-adventure game that grapples with themes of complex family dynamics and navigating difficult relationships and discovering one true self. It has some strong Scott Pilgrim vibes with fights against Exodus along with some Tony Hawk-style skateboarding. Interesting. The Annapurna published game is listed as coming soon for PC. And then we finally got a release date for Tunic, which is March 16th. Crossfire X, which is the very, very light month of February 8th. And then it's a huge game overseas, yeah. And then Meanwhile, Lost Ark, an MMO published by Amazon, will be available February 11th on Steam. So that's pretty much a rundown of the show.
Except for the actual Game Awards part of it, which It Takes Two got Game of the Year. Content Creator of the Year was Dream. Elden Ring is the... I'm getting some echo there. Elden Ring is the anticipated game. Most anticipated. Yeah. I guess for Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy got the award for the best narrative. Deathloop, yeah. Well, I don't know if Cesar's played it yet.
I've not. It's
Wasn't that 2 years ago
still sealed. I got too much going on, so
it's a damn good game though.
it's on my list.
Let's see. Best role playing went to Tales of Arise. Deathloop took home the award for art direction. I don't know. This the best action adventure game went to Metroid Dread. Of course, VR game went to Resident Evil 4. Forza 5 got sports/racing game. Action game went to Returnal. Guilty Gear Strive got the fighting game. Let's see. Family game. No, It Takes Two. Also got that. And player's voice was Halo Infinite. Of course, there's several other categories. I covered most of the larger ones, but you can always check out the results of the Game Awards.
Games, all those Mario Golfs and everything else. It Takes Two. Already.
Yeah. I think most people tuned in and there was talk about, this one's going to be big.
Performance and music
and
other subcategories.
Yeah. I remember there was talk about how Keeley said he was excited about some of the announcements, that especially there was an announcement that he was pretty excited about because he's been working with this particular developer for a really long time on this and yada yada yada. And that's the thing is, I don't know, after seeing it, everybody kind of walked away going, like it wasn't, nobody was blown away by anything. It wasn't a bad show by any sense, but it wasn't, that's the Series X reveal. Oh, it's, another Smash character or, whatever. It was nothing on this huge grand scale. There was definitely some good stuff shown. But
yeah.
But hey, I mean, it's the end of the year. Everything's kind of winding down. We got a lot of stuff coming out in February, and then we'll wind up into
February's a light month. Yeah.
Wanting Dream Star Wars, I think, is a big deal.
I mean, it's on Game Pass, so the only person I would have to question that would be Brent. No offense, Brent. Sorry.
I don't know.
Since I said it was a light month.
Xbox was pretty heavy on this show, yeah.
Crossfire.
Yeah.
Time to get my free to play. That game is free to play, right? Yeah, because they showed it. They did show it at Xbox things, right? That was where we saw it before. Crossfire. Yeah. Yeah.
What? What do you mean?
They are prominent.
If
in
so,
the,
you may be entitled to compensation.
consumer conscious at the moment.
That's kind of where it sounds like you're winding up.
Speaking of consumer conscious,
They're
if
my
you guys want to
faceplates
have
and I want
custom
them
parts
now.
for your PlayStation 5, and before you could order them, the company was sent a cease and desist letter by Sony.
Act now.
No. Call Brent McKee the strong arm. Are you due a large settlement of faceplates? Don't wait. Holy crap. Alright, so we're actually getting, piggybacking on the cease and desist letters for that case company. We're getting cases and controllers. So I say cases, they're clip-on console covers is the official title. The colors are going to be Midnight Black, Cosmic Red, Nova Pink, Starlight Blue, and Galactic Purple. They'll be available in January 2022.
Those sons of bitches.
Pre-order them on the PlayStation
I've bought
Store.
3 controllers, I've bought a headset, I bought the console, and now I'm gonna have to buy all new headset, buy all.
It's all part of the plan, man.
Redo all the controllers.
You can have totally matching consoles and controllers.
I will say, I don't know. I did as soon as this went live, I did go ahead and go to PlayStation Direct and buy a pair of the Midnight Black ones. They're $55 a piece.
The resellers.
Yeah.
You gotta get in the habit of saying resellers.
Correct.
I already purchased the Midnight Black ones. Yeah.
Yeah, that one does look snazzy.
Thought about the Cosmic Red.
It looks like the all chocolate.
Thought about it.
55.
He's got both of those controllers sitting right behind him.
I'm not gonna lie, that Galactic Purple looks good. I'm probably gonna buy that Galactic Purple as well. So.
Did you jump on any of these? Did you jump on any of these? Were
Yeah.
you tempted? You got the black one too. The red is snazzy.
I don't know. I like. Yeah. I like the black look. It looks sleek. Plus, it I think a complete all black PS5. It kind of gives me that PS2 vibe because it's the dark black and then of course with that glowing blue. Yeah, I do.
Yes. It does.
I think it's like January 22nd or something like that. It was like January 21st. I can't remember what day it was.
Right? Didn't you put the color one on there? I need to see a picture.
Yeah, it's all right in time.
Give me a picture of that when you have a chance.
That empty month with nothing to release.
SMS messages. These are all available first quarter. That says January 2022. A bunch of different countries. Almost February, says her. Almost February. I do like, options like this, and the fact that, this could have been a limited edition system back in the day. You had to buy the whole damn thing to get that different color. So it's great for 55, price of a game on sale.
Yeah.
You can swap that out. I would love to see clear stuff make a comeback. Stumbled into a thread with like the old G3 IMAX and the Game Boy Color. It was the purple Game Boy Color and the N64 fantastic ones, and even the Sony was the controllers. They had some of them.
Was the Dreamcast the last one to do that?
I want that translucent plastic style back. I'm nostalgic for that, and we should be.
No, they had some of them that were like
they
red. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Nostalgia points with this and sell a shit ton of those.
Let me double check.
Yeah, and that was even just like the back of it, right? It wasn't the solid one always. It was always that gray color on the front and the back of it, or vice versa. Solid. I want to say they were half and half. I'd be floored
That
to
is
see a
true. They
solid-
had that.
solid
They did that Halo special edition, and the whole thing was translucent green. The controller was translucent green.
PS2 after Dreamcast. I've got a blue PS2 one in there.
So the last
It-
translucent one,
It's
the last
smoky.
translucent one's gonna be the PS4 Pro, the 500 million edition. Yeah, those were translucent. Yeah.
That's right. Those like a dark blue.
You can see, yeah, you can see through it. That's probably the last console one,
Smoky.
which I could not get a copy because they sold out instantly. But I did get a controller and
Those were? Gotcha. Yeah, that was a pretty console. All right, look forward to those next year.
It's bad when they have to break down what Splinter Cell is.
Translucent plastic
Long.
fix on.
And Richard, you're right. The back
former
portion on those
co-host
Dreamcast controllers was gray, and the top portion was.
Splinter Cell Remake is a stealth third-person shooter
Except-
video game developed by Ubisoft Toronto and
Except
published
for
by Ubisoft.
one, there is one that is like a reddish pink, light reddish pink. It's the Millennium 2000 controller, and the top port is like a really light reddish pink, and then the back is just completely clear.
It broke my brain trying to imagine a totally translucent one.
$150. Honestly, not as bad as I thought.
Cart. Add the cart.
That's cool. What is that? 50,000.
Block, unfollow, mute.
50 grand, not 50,000 versions. 50 grand. Wow, that's not bad for totally translucent. Cart. Free shipping. Arrives by Christmas. That's what everything says now. Why are you doing that to the seller, Brant? They're just trying to sell their translucent controller to a non-believer. To receive, you must believe, Brant. Now that I've read the description of what a Splinter Cell game is, Ubisoft has greenlit the development of a Splinter Cell remake that will draw from the rich canvas of the brand, which has since been hoarded out to Ghost Recon. What else did we name off earlier? Led by Ubisoft Toronto, the game will be rebuilt from the ground up using Ubisoft's own Snowdrop engine to deliver next-generation visuals and gameplay and the dynamic lighting and shadows the series is known for.
I don't think I've actually completed a Splinter Cell
This
game.
was rumored, right? We didn't actually hear this? Because I kind of thought it was news a month or so ago. But I know it made the rounds this past week. Everybody excited for Splinter Cell Remake? I would love to see a next-gen one. This gen one.
Yeah.
I've never beat one as well. I did download the first one on the backwards compatible thing. I think that license was like $6, and I fired it up just to see like what the settings and all that, what you could change with it, and it's 4x3. So I stopped and I was like, I'll probably look better on CRT at this point, but booted really fast. I mean, it looks super clean, but Splinter Cell, I will say they've done a good job with their legacy because you can play just about every version of that on that, specifically on Xbox. But I know they're all on
Nintendo
PC as
Indie
well.
World Direct.
And then you have like the DS,
Indie World
3DS
Showcase?
offshoots where
Indie
you can
World
play
Showcase.
Chaos
What they call
Theory,
now?
do it over and over. I'm sure we'll hear more about this in the future.
Yeah, let's see. So this was actually a pretty packed show.
I haven't.
The very I thought this article went in order. They don't really go in order, but it'll do. Sea of Stars is what the show did start out with, which is kind of like a classic JRPG with more modern elements. It is a prequel to the game The Messenger. It's in that same world as The Messenger and everything. It looks really cool. Funny that you bring up Chrono Trigger, because the composer that worked on Chrono Trigger is also making the music for this game.
It looks like a combination of like Chrono Trigger and Golden Sun, I would say maybe.
And that game is coming holiday 2022.
Why is that, Brant?
We'll get there.
They showed off
It'll be pushed back
River City Girls 2.
Gets greater and greater. I think
I said we'll get there and then it'll be pushed back again.
Goals. I think that was one of the things.
But they showed off River City Girls 2. That's side-scrolling beat 'em up. More characters, items, stages,
Do what?
enemies.
What was that, Cesar?
Yes.
I still have not played it. It is. I love those.
River City Girls.
That is coming to Switch 2022 summer. Omori,
Anybody play that first
which
one? I know it was
is
well-reviewed.
a game that wasn't that originally going to come to like
I know you're big
3DS,
brawlers, yeah.
and then it,
I think it was made in like an RPG Maker or something like that.
yeah. And this is kind of like that influenced by like the Mother series and Undertale and things like that. It's that real kind of odd battle system kind of
I never
deal.
heard of this one.
Yeah.
It's I've seen this a lot on like YouTube. There's a lot of streamers who play it, and there's different things you can do to affect emotions in the game for your main characters, and it opens up different abilities to attack. But it's like what Brant said, is very Earthbound / Mother-esque type humor.
Yeah, quirky humor.
And that will be coming to Nintendo Switch spring 2022. Alicia, the Oblivion of Twin Goddesses, is a like 3D puzzle where you can co-op with sisters that actually have like different abilities, and they showed off the sisters control differently and use different aspects of the controls. So you may have to use the motion controls for her powers, and the other one you actually use like the joysticks and the buttons and things like that for her abilities. That launches spring 2022. Next we have a Locomotive, which is like it's a point and click murder mystery style game that takes place on a train, hence the name Locomotive. And that'll be coming to Switch summer 2022.
I like co-op stuff.
After Love EP, a modern day story of music and love. It's kind of a visual novel-esque, but it seemed like it had a lot of elements for like rhythm games and other things like that as well mixed in there. And the whole thing is, I believe this is the one where he loses someone, and it's a whole story about, grieving and moving on and continuing with your life. And the whole thing is he is completing a EP and this is what he promised the person that passed that he would do. So, and that is coming. Yes. Coming to Switch summer 2022. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting looking game. Next up is Dungeon Munchies. It's a 2D side-scrolling action platformer, kind of dungeon crawl deal, where you go through, hunt monsters, and cook and eat what you gather to gain different powers and abilities. And this one actually was, it was dropped on announcement, so you can actually, so you can check out Dungeon Munchies right now. Figment 2, Creed Valley. I'm trying to remember which one this one was. I know.
Oh,
That's
you
why
gotta
I'm
love
not.
those. Available
But
here
it's
today.
rhythmic world play through a human mind that is overcome by nightmares in this musical puzzle adventure game. And that is the famed month,
So I can't
February
wait to wait
2022,
freaking
and it
ad before every single video.
has a free demo available on eShop right now. Let's play Oink Games. This is a bunch of collection of like board games developed by Oink Games.
Nothing's coming out there.
And it's just a little mix of different things, and this one is also dropped day of. And then Ending. Extinction is Forever. This is the one where you play as a mother fox, and you've got cubs that you're supposed to protect and help teach them, adapt, and survive.
Download now.
And this is coming to Switch spring 2022. We got another look at Ollie Ollie World. This is, gosh, I feel like we've seen this 3 or 4 times now, but they showed off like character creations and some more of the game mechanics, and it's coming along. It looks really good. Also, February 8th, 2022, pre-orders are already up for the game. What? Uh-oh.
What happened?
You got all weird and echoey for a second. Now you're fine.
But nothing's happening that month. Yeah. Still going by February. There's nothing coming out February.
Nothing happening that
What
month.
happened?
The shortest month of the year. Let's release every game ever made.
Nothing. Are you good?
Chicory, A Colorful Tale. This is the painting adventure.
It's here. Oh, nothing's happening.
And that's you paint the world and to solve puzzles and things like that. And that's actually dropped same day as well.
Catch up on your backlog.
Yeah.
It
was one of his shoes, one of his partnerships he was working.
Let's see. The stealth puzzle game Time Lie. And that comes to Switch same day. There was a bunch of these. And Don't Starve Together. Also now. You can actually try the game for free from December 15th to the 21st and carry over your whole save when you purchase the full game. Don't Starve Together. Yeah, and it's kind of that Minecrafty, go gather resources, but
Don't starve
then
together.
I was about to say, then it gets dark and shit gets real and you get swarmed by monsters.
The game is weird, very weird.
It is very, very weird.
You have to there's like a gate and there's like demons and stuff that pour out of it, and you have to get resources and survive in the fire.
Survival sim.
You end up going to different. I don't know. It's
it's weird.
I don't know how you describe it. Don't Starve Together. Yeah.
It's a weird game, but that was it. Yeah. Little Torch. Yeah.
The Torch is 90% of the gameplay, so. Yeah.
That's weird.
I think one of your voice filters keeps flickering on and off.
I just visualize the cover like somebody's doing
I can't hear anything, so I don't know. So.
Torch or something. Yeah. Is it? Is the torch going? Yeah, it's turning on. We get the devil really fast. The torch is part of the gameplay. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
We need a young priest and an old priest.
Not a hill.
We need to give access our exorcism.
In and out. They can't catch me.
The torch is part of the gameplay. It's like 99% of the gameplay. It's like bouncing in and out of hell. It's like you're
Sure.
it's like you're ducking
That
in
is
and out
the
of Portal.
Indie World Showcase,
Premiere.
formerly Indies.
Yes, you're not in hell right now. The Exorcism of Cesar. Holy crap. Alright, is that it? That's the whole indie show? God, that's a shit ton of games. Alright, I'm gonna go through this one pretty quick.
They're still making Ben 10
This comes from the
cartoons,
Xbox
so.
Wire. You've got Among Us, Cloud, and ID at Xbox, December 15th. That's a big one. I still haven't played Among Us. I think I might jump into that VR one when it comes out for the Meat Quest. Ben 10 Power Trip. They're still making Ben 10 games. Oh, I'm the one who doesn't know what's going on. Broken Age. That's a popular title. Firewatch. The Gunk. I heard the Gunk was quite good. This was one of the Gunk impressed us at one of those Xbox shows, if I remember right. Lake comes to Cloud Console and PC. Mortal Kombat 11 comes to Cloud Console and PC December 16th. Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay, Cloud Console and PC December 16th. I know some people that might play Paw Patrol.
Game again?
Race with Ryan. Take the wheels, Ryan, and all your favorite Ryan's world friends,
I have the anime and I have the game.
including his exploitive parents.
Oh.
Record of Lodos War, Deedlit, and Wonder Labyrinth.
Alright.
Cloud Console and PC December 16th. That is the one
I'll
I'm going to download and try. That is a Metroidvania.
Also have a physical copy of this game on PS5.
Record of Lodos War. Okay, so this is a straight up, it looks like Symphony of the Night. It's not even a Metroidvania.
I
in the
may
Metroidvania
have
sense of, like,
seen
Hollow
this.
Knight, like the interface and everything.
Let
looks
me
like
double-
Symphony of the Night.
Yes,
watch somebody play
this
Break
this
Up
one
Your
is
House, check
is
this one out.
definitely heavily
Record
inspired
of
by
Lodos
Symphony of
War,
the Night.
Deedlit, and Wonder Labyrinth.
I have seen
It's only
this,
like 5 or 6 hours too.
but
not
it's
like
it's
crazy
it's
long.
got some interesting layers, weapons, and mechanics to it. It looks really cool.
All led me to some rando playing this. Yep. Speaking of interesting layers, weapons, and mechanics, you can get all three of those in Transformers Battlegrounds coming December 16th. So all these, as of this episode, sorry Brant, are live now. Pigeon Simulator. Play as the world's most notorious birds and help them in their quest for revenge, love, and world domination. When we're not having mechanics, weapons, and what was the other thing? Poop on everyone, destroy
Like
everything, join the Pigeon
Cool.
Revolution. Sniper
Like a
Elite
squat
5,
machine is all. That's what they're
Trek
releasing.
to Yomi,
Squat
and
machine.
an unannounced game from Huge Calf Studios. Huge Calf Studios announced a new game that would be coming on day one to Game Pass. Nothing more to see. For more news from our friends at Huge Calf. Serious Sam 4 is also out now. That's what it seemed like. Townscaper, available now. Your random DLC updates, your ultimate perks, which we're all playing Halo Infinite multiplayer, so make sure you get that weapon. And 4 double XP boosts, that's a big deal. I'm paying $2 for a Rockstar that will get me 2 double XP boosts, so that's a pretty good value. I compare that to 2 Rockstar drinks. And leaving Game Pass. Oh, I'm not there yet. Ultimate members were adding Xbox Touch controls to 10 more games. Astria Ascending, Bug Fables, Dicey Dungeons, Fate Tactics, I Am Fish, One Step from Eden, Ring of Pain, Sable, and The Gunk coming soon. Leaving Game Pass on December 31st are Pro Evolution Soccer 2021, The Little Acre, Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwami 1, and Yakuza Kiwami 2.
Cinti, let's go,
I feel
Cinti.
like the Yakuza games have been in Game Pass for quite some time. So
I don't know. I casually just looked at the corner of my eye when I saw the tweet come up, and I didn't read the full thing, and I just got excited.
All right, 5
Like
more
my-
Sega Genesis games.
Like my Albert Odyssey
Someone
for
tell
the
me about-
PS4 that keeps coming up there. Yeah. What is it?
I like Eddie's a pretty good
Something
game.
Abyss, Albert Abyss, or something like that. Abyss Odyssey.
Which
I
one
was like,
did you
oh
think
shit,
was
I'm on
Sword of
PS4, let's
Vermilion?
go. And I
Which
get in
one
there and
is
I'm
Sword of
disappointed because it's not
Vermilion?
even close. Yeah.
I want to say.
I wasn't asking questions. I was there to buy it, and I was
Albert
online.
Odyssey,
It wasn't what I wanted. So
I don't know. I would tell you it's Albert Odyssey. That's all I see every time. My brain. My brain realigns them to Albert Odyssey every time. It's like, why is this coming to PS3? So Sword of Vermilion's when I was looking at the box art, and I think that was one of the first Genesis games we got. It was either the second or might have actually been the first, because we were looking at the cover and was like, okay, this looks like an RPG. Well, we'll check this out. We know we can get a Sonic game. It'd be good with that, and then let's check out this Sword of Vermilion. It's of a different era. It's of a different time. And we were probably playing that in like 98 or 99, and it was
oh
It's
god,
your favorite
the
game,
greatest
Richard?
game of all time.
Right,
which are
full go.
5 games coming to the Sega Genesis Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack.
Treasure Man.
Saying that. Somebody shortened it to NSO, and that still is just annoying to me. This comes from Nintendo Life. You're going to get Altered Beast, which did not age well. If you have Wise from your word. Dynamite Heady, which I think we'll all agree is a good game. Sword of Vermilion, stay away. Thunder Force 2, solid title. You got to mix in like Xevious, kind of open world, I guess you could say, shooting, and then you have the traditional Thunder Force style, left to right, Gradius, that style of shooting. And then the crown jewel of the Sega Genesis and the 16-bit library. Maybe not the crown jewel, one of the crown jewels of the 16-bit libraries. Toe
It's
Jam
on.
Earl, the original
I'm
Sega
pretty sure
Genesis
it's
classic.
backwards compatible.
Which is
on the
playable
360.
through that Genesis Ultimate Collection, and I think by itself as did it get a Sega Ages release? I actually
Was,
don't think
yeah,
it did.
somehow,
I think I would've
yeah.
supported that one.
I played it so much they
Get a
put it on
Sega
there
Ages
twice.
release.
On with like Gears Ultimate or something.
but-
That was weird.
Yeah, it is. Yep. I think it was Cesar's. It was in his
Vintage.
top 5 games twice one year.
Vintage,
It was like
Sega
number 3
Vintage.
and number 4.
Yeah, that's.
Yep. Yeah, I think it was like the native 360 copy, like the backwards compatible one, because that was under a different different umbrellas, like Sega
mean,
Virtual Classics or something.
Paper Mario was
I
almost
think
there,
it's
but
SVC.
played on the Wii U. So
Sega Vintage Collection. That's what it is. It's like SVC, Toe Jam and Earl. What the hell is this? All right, so which one of these 5 games has convinced you guys to update your Nintendo Switch Online? Yeah. There are easier ways to get a hold of Paper Mario than that subscription. And I even looked at like doing the normal family, the regular Nintendo family online. And I've read enough articles now that I think, because we're going to have another console in the house in the next week or so. And I believe it's going to be easy to just set one as the primary and one as the secondary and still be able to utilize the online subscription on both of those. So.
Yeah.
I didn't
We'll
put
be
it
able
in
to
the
play Toe
news,
Jam
but they've
Earl
already announced that
with-
next month they're adding Cesar's favorite
The
game,
Sega Genesis digital. And not have to
Banjo
online.
and Kazooie.
game's unplayable.
No,
Right, at
you
least I have
finally
games
be able to
right?
beat
I
it.
can.
5
I
Genesis
got to the
games at
end
one
with the
time.
board game. I just can't get past the board game. I don't have time. The board game is random. Board game is random.
Yes.
It's randomized. I
Trivia
tried. I
show.
tried
Got a
going
trivia
online.
show
It's
mini
random.
game in it.
360. Yeah.
Game's unplayable.
I sunk 15 hours in that game and couldn't beat it. It still haunts me to this day.
I have the strategy guide. We'll play together with the strategy guide. You stream it, and I'll read which puzzles to do with the strategy guide. We'll beat it together. What were you playing that on when we played that? 360? I'm about to say.
Those when you guys say my voice is doing weird stuff.
That's more apparently than I've played my Switch the entire year, according to my email from Nintendo.
Yeah.
You would have had an entire year's worth of Banjo-Kazooie on the Switch. Encoding overloaded.
Like
Why
Horizon
is
Zero
it weird
Dawn
errors?
thing.
Yeah, it's just a funky
Like
thing.
Horizon
That's not a
something.
thing.
Yeah.
All right, games played. We're gonna jump into it. I've got to look up this game. I actually talked to Cesar earlier today, and I was like, man, I'm gonna forget the name of this game. I gotta write it down. My favorite quest. Yeah, something like that. But I'm no closer with you throwing out those four titles than I was. I knew it was that too. Horizon Zombie Dawn. This is my current favorite game for the Meat Quest 2. Death Horizon Reloaded. We were close, Cesar. It was a combination of Death Stranding and Horizon Zero Dawn. We had the wrong PlayStation franchises. So this is you can play it single player or you can play it co-op. And so a friend of the show, Jeremy, has got a Meat Quest 2 as well. And this is I guess it's a basic VR co-op shooter, but we wanted something to play together and like story-based, that kind of thing. And it was ended up being a daily deal. The Oculus Store, from what I've noticed over the past 2 or 3 weeks, they're not a great content distribution platform. Like, it's hard to find stuff. Some of the greatest games I've played on it so far come through the App Lab, which is like a demo, like a test environment, and they're not fully certified for the Oculus Store, but it's a separate storefront. So you literally have to load up a web page that has the App Lab on it and add stuff to it. So there's a current Meat Quest game that everyone is playing called Gorilla Tag, where you like swing through trees as gorillas and you just tag people. And that's one that you'll see streamers playing, and it's out there everywhere, but you can't get on the Oculus Store. When I first got it and I was looking for this game everybody's talking about, I couldn't find it, and it was on the App Lab. So just a side note, we may have some listeners who get a Meat Quest 2 for Christmas. That App Lab has a bunch of, it's not even side loading either. You just go to that separate storefront and you can either pay for it like a normal Oculus game, or you just add it to your Oculus and it downloads like the normal App Store. It's a weird subset. It should almost be in that main page. And then also, it's hard to find these daily deals. Like Oculus every day they'll have a discount on a game, and I've picked up 3 or 4 games, but I'm following I think it's oddeals.net or OC Deals, and they put that daily deal out there every day for you because the store doesn't have it on the storefront for some reason. But there's been some good stuff on there. We actually got Racket NX today, I think is the name of it, and I watched the missus playing this one. Since the Oculus doesn't hook up to, I may have covered this before, or the Quest 2, since it doesn't hook up to a console or anything like that, and it's not like integrated with the TV, you cast your image to an iPad or TV or something like that for somebody else to watch. So she was actually playing this Racket game, and it's imagine Breakout or Arkanoid and Racquetball. So
You almost said Death Stranding.
And it's full 360.
Yeah, I heard it in your voice.
And it goes and hits, it hit a space and come bouncing back at you. And if you don't hit it exact, it could go careening like 360 degrees around you. So that one's actually pretty cool. But getting back to the one I was talking about, Death Horizon Reloaded. I almost did say Death Stranding. Death Stranding Reloaded for PS5. No, but so you're walking around they're 2 nameless characters, and you're in like an oil rig or something that these zombies have broken loose on. And when you look at the other person, they're just kind of a face mask, like a generic looking character with no limbs. It's almost like Rayman, or opposite Rayman, I guess. You can see their gun, their vest, and their pelvis, I guess. And it's just like a mannequin thing moving around without limbs. But the cool thing is that everything on you is interactive. So you have like a utility belt. You can have pistols. So you have the pistols out, and then you're using the Oculus triggers, the Oculus controllers. You'll tuck the guns into the holsters to put them up and get your secondary weapon, which is across your chest. So you'll put your controllers down there and let go of the guns, and you also reload them that way. So if you're in a shootout, you put them in the holsters, and then you take them out and they're reloaded. So you can put them in there, and then your main weapon will be across your chest. So you just grab it from there, and then you'll have we unlocked like an AR and then a shotgun with the other thing. And then there's key cards. So I can't tell yet if it's randomly generated. I know every time you play, you kind of have to start at the beginning. So I don't think it's the exact same levels laid out. But you'll have a room with the zombies. You have to clear it, look around for ammo and things like that, and sometimes a key card. But you'll actually keep the highest level key card you get. Think of like Doom with the blue, yellow, red, and like but they're a hierarchy. So once you get the yellow one, you don't need the green one anymore. So that sort of thing. But the key card you actually physically will keep on your person too. And then once you guys have both cleared the room, each one gets on the side of the door, and you have to, physically reach down and grab your key card and hold it and put it up to the door, and then it'll open and you'll go into the next stage. So there's safe rooms where you can get weapon upgrades. There's no crafting or anything like that. There are some sections where there won't be no zombies, but they may be like somewhere not directly on top of you. You can tell that it's not going to be like a horde-based thing where they're just rushing the room at you or anything. And there's platforming, so you may see a door that you have to get to, and you'll look to the scaffolding on your left, and there's pipes, and you'll have to grab with the Oculus. Think of Uncharted, where you'll see something glowing, but there's certain textures that you realize that you can climb on. So you'll grab hold of those, and you'll move across the room, and your character will go across, to get to the door or whatever you need to get to. And there's secret doors underneath. Some of them the zombies come out of, but it's a room scale game. But you're not moving, you're just staying in they call it the garden. You're staying in that one area that you've kind of set up, maybe like a 8x8 or 10x10 type area. But you literally have to crouch down to get into this thing and grab the floor and like pull yourself through. Think of the Metal Gear Solid air ducts and things like that, and you have to pull yourself through there, and then you'll get into a secret room, or you'll find a room where you have to open a lever to open a door or something like that. That's the only time. The movement was fine. I never had any VR sickness. I didn't do the locomotion. I had it on the full movement, and no filtering, like no 45-degree angles or anything. And I was fine. We ended up playing for like an hour and a half. It was one of those don't realize how all time is going, and it just, like, when I put the headset on, my household was awake. Like, everybody was doing stuff and milling around. And then when we both tapped out and our meat quest had got down to like 15-20% battery, and I go to take the headset off, and I take it off, and lights are off, everybody's gone to bed, like everything was quiet. It's like, man, what happened when I was in there? Time went on, and it was just a lot of fun. There was a lot of funny moments, and then, of course, when you can like see somebody doing something, we did all kind of crazy stuff with the cards, and you can see a melee weapon, so you can grab baseball bats, lead pipes. There's like a rebar thing with concrete stuck in the end of it, and you put that on your back. So whatever melee weapon you have, you just like you're holding the Oculus controller, and you just kind of like bring it back there and let it go, and then you'll see that on that person's back. But I had that lead pipe thing, and apparently it didn't like go straight on my back, so it looked like my character had like this snorkel thing of this lead pipe, and he's just walking around with this lead snorkel thing. But it's pretty good, and I'll say this: I haven't played any Quest games. I have yet to plug in. I'm an audio fanatic. I want to be able to hear the best. I want to not miss out on anything. We played a lot of that music game, Moonrider, and I haven't used a single headset on it yet. The way the audio is positioned on that Meat Quest 2 headset, it's like right there. And then when Jeremy and I were playing this game, we were in a party, and it was seamless. Like the audio and the microphone and the voice chat and everything was just strapping that headset on and going with those controllers. It was super seamless and easy, and it sounded really, really good. I didn't feel like I was missing out by not having the headphones in. Of course, I'm going to try it with headphones and be like, this is the only way to play. You got to have that. It's immersive audio.
I think it was more streamlined on the new one.
It sounds really good just on the built-in. That second PlayStation VR headset, that one had did it have built-in headphones? Or it had a headphone jack that was easier to get to? Something about that second model was different from the first one. I should have made a note of that, but I think it plugged into like underneath the headset, right? Instead of that connector box thing like we had, or the plug. Like there was a plug further down. Yeah. But that game is a lot of fun. It's very cool. Death, I always like to say it at the end, since I've been Death Stranding Horizon Zero Dawn Reloaded. It's Death Horizon Reloaded, and it's $20. And normally, I see it on sale a lot. track, it tells you what the price has been at the lowest and what it is now and what the highest has been. So it's normally $20. It's been down to, I think it was $10.99, but we jumped at $12.99. So if you have a Meat Quest 2, definitely check out, or a Meat Rift, check out those that site and see what games are the daily deal. Or I'm hoping with all the headsets they sold this holiday, they'll do some kind of holiday sale or something with a bunch of stuff. I know I want to get Resident Evil 4. I would like to get a deal on that and not pay $40. It's like, you're getting like towards the price of the headset with Resident Evil 4, just that one. And Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor is supposed to be a really good experience, especially on the Quest 2. Played more Halo Infinite campaign. Just exploring and being on the ring. I want to talk about that when you guys have played the campaign more or played it at all, just to kind of, fill you out and see what you think about that kind of stuff. It's still, I said it last week, but it hits those moments of these were the things you did in the first Halo, like when you first landed on it and it had that mystery and you were going to pick up the Marines, but the Marines actually do something now and there's a little bit of context behind it, and it's like it's filling in the gaps of the first Halo. I get major Halo 1 vibes from especially being on this ring and what it's about. And just it plays like what they wanted to do with that first Halo if they had this type of technology, and it fills in the gaps of what's kind of just built into that first game and what you had to imagine. I think of it like 16-bit, 32-bit RPGs where they were so special to us because it was limited resources. You lived for those FMV movies. It was like, oh my God, look at these computer graphics on this disc, on this PlayStation. It's incredible. But the people were mostly silent. You never heard, you didn't get accents or anything like that. So you made it up in your head. You added those things to it. And like I was saying last week, that first Halo game, when you first crash land there and you're going to pick up the Marines, it's a linear path. You're just going into the mountains. There's only one place you can go. And you pick them up, but it had this open feel, right? Like you felt you were doing something
Reloading.
in a strange world, and you were going.
Throw reloading.
You had the Warhog all of a sudden, and you were going to find these survivors. And this is just like times 10 on that level of how that feeling is, and what they can do with this new hardware, and really flesh out that experience,
Matrix.
and that thrill of doing that and driving you forward. Do what? Yes, the thrill of reloading. Back to the other Kojima property, not Death Stranding. Oh God, I played something else.
Same.
What else did I play? Oh, the Matrix thing. Yeah. So it's about, I guess, Brent, that'll segue to yours if you want to go before Cesar this week, or you just jump in with me.
Yep.
It was cool as shit. First off, it's really short, Brent. I probably played it for like 10 or 15 minutes. It wasn't. Yeah. I didn't know what it was going in. I specifically didn't watch any videos or, here's what this is.
Actually, for like a second I did, but it was once I like looked, I could tell between when it switched between the computer and the real.
Is Keanu Reeves? Is this computer generated? Did you have any issues?
No, there's a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's 100% computer
Yeah.
generated. I don't think there's any real in there. Oh, the clips from the movie that they integrate into it, like when Morpheus is there and all that. Yeah. That's true. What broke it for me was Carrie-Anne Moss. She looked different to me until they got to the actual Matrix part with in the car ride and all that kind of stuff. So Cesar, you need to play it. It's only 10, like we said, 10 to 15 minutes. It's not like crazy long experience or anything like that, but it's super detailed. You play a sequence with Trinity and Neo and another character, unnamed character, and it's totally fourth wall. They're joking about doing this again, and we can't believe it's been so long and stuff like that. Main complaint I saw online was, why are there so many female protagonists? And I'm like, what is this? What year is this? What's wrong with people? So you play the game, I guess, and then there's like a tech
You can
demo
turn
at
on
the end
different
where you are
filters
the
and
character
see
who
the
joins you
geometry
in
and
the game part,
different lighting,
and you get to
dynamic
go in the
lighting,
city
change the angle
with
of the
like
sun,
fully
go to
realized
toggle
traffic, and you
day,
can fly around.
night,
I
and
was like
so,
looking in the apartments
yep.
and stuff, like looking in the windows. There's like CRT monitors and stuff, but it's just it's really cool. Yeah. Yep.
Does.
Traffic. Like you could turn that button off. You saw these beautifully rendered cars and traffic and all that, and you could hit a button and they would just turn into blocks, like just moving pixel type things. And it's a really really cool showcase. Highly recommend.
I will say that it did look good. The environment, a lot of the elements making up the environment, the cars, and all of that, it looked really good. People one-on-one and in cinematics looked really good. But then when you break off in that part at the end and go like looking through the crowd and stuff, it looks about the same as any game we've had, within the past. Yeah. They've got they have 4 body types and 4 different character models, and they just kind of mix match between all of the ones.
Yeah. They all look the same. All the
Yeah.
people, the pedestrians look the same.
And their feet are clipping through the parts of the sidewalk and stuff like that. But I mean, it's honestly, it is the Matrix. Yeah. So, but it was a very good showcase. Because aside from that initial video tech demo thing we saw alongside the reveal of PS5,
it is the Matrix after all.
we haven't gotten anything else. And
I would.
No, that was just the demo showing off. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that turned into.
Yeah, they all look kind of bewildered or annoyed.
That was
Mhm.
the engine demo. That's right. It was Unreal. Yeah. I ran up to I would run up to a car, right, and go look in the driver's side, and they always had the same look, like they just looked at you, straight at you. But there's people in all of them. You can run up to any of those cars.
But honestly, I mean, if you were to go into Spider-Man on PS4 or PS5, a lot of the same elements,
there was no loading. You just
like the stuff you'd see in the apartments, or the crowd, the people that are you will pass on the street are definitely a little better than what was in that demo. But that's not what the demo was showing off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's things to come, and it felt next gen. Like I remember playing that first Assassin's Creed demo on, I guess it was 360. I played it on. It felt like, okay, they can't do this on PS2 and Xbox. We need a new thing for this. This had that feel to it. So.
Cesar, what'd you do? You continue with your anime?
Anything else?
No, stop anime.
And Spider-Man?
And Spider-Man.
No, I won't talk about that. It's a analog game, not quite our forte.
It requires me to do stuff. I'll fiddle with it.
That's it. Those are my games played for the week. Anime Quest. So that's our fire up your meat quest. Play some games with me. I added you as a friend on Meat Quest. I think this is important to touch on because it's the barrier that I think Cesar's going to run into. I'm very anti-Facebook, and it makes you connect it to an account at a certain point.
I don't exist to Facebook. I can't. My both email accounts I normally use have been blocked. So
tied that to my
Make a
Oculus.
new
I'll have to
email.
create a new
Finally.
email account
And that
just
was
for
it. That's
Facebook.
all the checks and anything else that it needed. So there's just a
And that
ghost
requires
meeting
work.
floating around out
Do it.
there. that
Fuck
has an
Facebook
Oculus.
at AOL.com.
So Cesar, that might be your way to go, sir.
Yeah, I still have my Hotmail. My Hotmail is exclusively used for Final Fantasy 14. They won't let me
That
change
you
it.
can't play.
Do it. Tie it to the Oculus. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Like
Oh,
it's,
Meat Quest.
I'm
At AOL.
I got in
At
there.
Hotmail.
Wait, Endwalker. I bought Endwalker day one. Yeah, I've been in there. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, that was good. I just
They
had to
won't let you
wait.
change it. That's right.
Yeah.
I remember you saying this.
Free.
It doesn't matter.
I just walked
you
away.
can't play it if you wanted to. You saw that. They're not selling.
I got in there and I was like,
games
I better play this for 8
because
hours
the
just
queue
in
is
case.
so long.
But that's neither here nor there.
You got in.
And this week, I only played 3 games this week. I
Good
went
for
through
you.
the entirety and beat Psychonauts. I went through the entirety and beat Psychonauts on VR, and I'm about halfway
2
done with
hours.
Psychonauts 2.
Damn.
So
That's wild.
it's pretty good. Yeah, I can start with the VR one. So the VR one takes place immediately after the first game. There's a story beat when you beat the first game that like a cliffhanger. And the ruins of the Rhombus is immediately after that. So you have to go rescue somebody.
Ruin of the Rhombus.
The VR game only gives
How was
you, I
that VR
think,
one?
3 your psychic powers, which I think was pyro, telekinesis, and clairvoyance, where you can possess other people's minds. But the way that the game works is that you play as the main character Raz, and you point, and you just you see what he sees. But it actually looks pretty good, man. Going from that PS2 game to that, and seeing those characters in full 3D and looking around, you get the full ship and everything in there. It's actually pretty neat.
Mhm.
So you're going to this off-site location that has like a Silurium, which is kind of like a Silurium deposit, like Psi would being like psychic. So the head of the Psychonauts is kidnapped, and you have to go rescue him. And so you're riding on a plane, and then you just happen to crash into the water, and there you're trapped to a chair. So from there, you're underwater, and you look at these fish swimming around, and then you use
There are
your
a lot of things in the universe with the
clairvoyance
side
to
prefix
take over their minds, and then that's how you navigate
Makes
through
sense.
the levels. So you look around and you possess other fish's bodies, and it gets you 2 different aspects. You got to save the rest of the Psychonauts on your team. So you'll end up being like Amelia. She's trapped on a bus. Sasha's trapped in some kind of underwater tank where he believes he's talking to aliens. They're all affected by the Silurium. And then the coach Oleander, is in like a cruise ship that's down there, and he's like singing and dancing on there. So you have to, like, as you go through there, you have to kind of manipulate the environment and break them out of the trance, and then continue onward. And as you go through, you get their powers like telekinesis and pyro, and that you use to do other puzzle based. So you have to like burn wooden crates and move the crates around so Lily can get through the level, and you pretty much do that as you get to the end of the game, and you have to like this giant boss battle. So like one of the enemies from the first game, he's back as the final boss in this one. This one you use all your powers to do like a boss battle where you're like, it's hard to kind of explain, but it goes more deeper in the story. So as you go through, you find out somebody hired him, the head of the Psychonauts, and you escape from the underwater area, and that's where it ends off. So then it takes place in Psychonauts 2 directly after this one. So I'll double back, and I've talked about Psychonauts 1. So played through excuse me. As I played through that one, I finished that one out there. So like what I did before is like when that game opens up, it's like I mentioned before, is Raz is a kid that's ran away from the circus.
Nice.
Become a psychonaut because he has psychic abilities. Somebody gives him a pamphlet and he learns about them and he joins the camp. So they find him out in camp, and they call his father, and pick him up, and so he's basically trying to get the whole camp experience before his dad comes and gets him. So as you go through there, they have each of the Psychonauts, Oleander, Sasha 9, which Sasha 9 I can now look and see. I always see him as Tim Robbins because he has that Tim Robbins hairstyle. So if you look at him, it's like if you look at pictures of Sasha 9, it looks like Tim Robbins, with glasses and everything. And then Mia, which is she uses like levitation is her power. So those first levels, as you go into their minds, they kind of train you on the 3 basic powers in that game. And then as it opens up,
That's how you identify.
the area or the camp does like an open world area for the camp and opens up a little bit more, which allows you to get different psychic badges and abilities later on that can kind of expand the gameplay. So as you go through, you have to collect these figments, and as you get like 100 of them, it levels you up. And I think the max level is like 101. And as you go through these levels, it's a different aspect of platforming. So game looks. I played it on PS2. I played it on PS4. It's a PS2 and PS4 game. I think I compared it to the PC version. There's some coloring difference, but I think this one accurately captures what it was on PS2, which I'm not sure. I think it was a better looking game when I looked at the box. But just for ease, I just went and just played it on PS2. But gameplay wise, it's like a platformer, man. One of those ones that came out during the PS2 age. It's very reminiscent of like Jack and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank. Done very well. The writing on there is very good. I think a lot of people online will tell you the Lungfishopolis is probably their favorite, one of the best written scripts on there in gaming. Lungfishopolis. It's like you play as Gogular, which is Raz, and he's like a reverse Godzilla.
Not a bad thing.
Around the city, and they're like telling him like, "Oh, he's out to kill your children. Watch out, he's going for the orphanage." It's like stuff like that. It's well written, and it's like there's like propaganda. And it's like he's not even the villain in there, but they're propaganda so they get the facility to turn on him. So he's like running around like Godzilla, destroying all these skyscrapers and everything. It's pretty good. But I think my favorite level on there is the Waterloo world, where you have to help go to the asylum. You end up meeting like an old worker there, and he's related to Napoleon Bonaparte. But he loses a match, and Napoleon Bonaparte possesses his mind. So it's like one of those ones where like you have like how some people have some mental fortitude or some mental deficiencies on having to live up to their genetics. Is kind of like exploring that aspect of it. So like he's having like this risk-based adventure against Napoleon Bonaparte, and it's I don't know. It could be something with the internet because internet feed over here is crashing for me. Now, like the YouTube and Twitch is all crashed for me. There might be something wrong with my internet. It's going in and out.
You're like bouncing in and out. It's
So,
really bad.
and there's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. So outside of that, I think the Waterloo World is probably the best written one. So it goes down to like a Risk board game.
It's just funky.
Huh? He can't swim. He's a Quado. He's been cursed. He gets in water, he drowns, and he dies. So that's part of the lore in the background. You go in the water, you die. You can't swim.
Like most PS2 era games.
There's a lot in this game that I can't go into detail. You have to kind of play it and see. But the Waterloo World's the best one because it's like a risk game where you get down there and you have to like use Fred Bonaparte and beat Napoleon Bonaparte so you can set his mind right. And so you have different quadrants in that game. So like I think one of the Napoleon soldiers destroys the bridge, so you have to get a builder to rebuild it. And so you have to like do these tasks. Like the builder's like, hey, yeah, I'll come out and build the bridge, or when you talk to him, it's like, hey, robber, I know you're a robber. I'm not coming out. That's why I have my chimney on fire, and you can't come down my chimney, and I can hear you on top of the roof. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm at the door talking to you. He's like, I don't know, maybe you're like a ventriloquist. And it's like get out of here, robber. So he's like, if I go up there. Yeah. Everything crashed for me. But so like you clear the roof, and and prove that you're not the robber. And then he comes out and builds the bridge, and then you recruit these different soldiers. So like, there's a soldier you have to give him money, and then he'll join your cause, and they die. It's like, all right, I'm ready to die for the cause, and Raz is like, you don't have to die, you know, I just need you to stop the guy, you know. It's like stuff like that. But I think he's like, why do you have to think negatively? He told him that on there. So I think my favorite bit was like the final area on that level. It's like you do all that stuff and you go through it, and it's like in the final bit on the level, it's like there's a guard with a gun. So you get one of the villagers, it's like, yeah, I'm not going out there unarmed. So if you give me a gun, I'll go out there and fight him. So you have to go through there and find the gun and give it to him. And so you give him the gun, he's like, great, now I can finally rob that builder. I'm like, he did all of that. And then Raz is like, but why? It's like, I guess he was trying to get robbed the whole time. It's like this whole story beat that you didn't see coming towards the end. He's like, can you just take out the guy and then do whatever you want afterwards? It's like, yeah, I'll do that. It's like, I thought that had me dying. It's like, now I can finally rob that builder. It was like out of nowhere and had nothing lead up to it. It just dropped that on you. And I was like, but that's how
circle, baby.
That's pretty much how that whole game is written. To the end, the beginning and end is done very well. And there's nothing in there. They had the figments, which is like there's a certain amount in the level, and there's other stuff you can collect, but it never in itself felt like a collectathon. You know, there's some stuff you have to go out of your way and get. It doesn't do it too often, so it's manageable. It's easy to do. The battle system is complex, is deep, but it's not difficult. So there's different ways you can fight enemies. You can go invisibility, you can go regular melee, telekinesis, pyrokinesis. Play your way, you fight your way. So I think the difficulty I had was that towards the very end, the final boss battle, because it's like done in 3 phases, and it's the standard platforming where each boss you got to do it 3 times to beat the boss type situation. So I will go into details about who the villain is. So there's some story aspects in there, and it's done pretty well. And the game is a top notch. In the end, that's probably one of the best platformers I ever played. And then, like I said, at the end of that game, and this is why there's a huge cliffhanger. So after that, it goes on. It just ends like, hey, the Psychonauts is kidnapped. You got to go save him. And then that's where the VR1 kind of takes into. So the VR1, you save him, and you're trying to figure out who's pulling the strings. And so that's where I started off with Psychonauts 2. Psychonauts 2 does a very good job about summing up everything. So if you don't want to play the first 2 games and you just want to play Psychonauts 2 and just play that, it does a very good job about summing everything up in the beginning of the game. But there is, when I've been through it halfway through there's stuff in that game that makes references to the other games, which is neat. So, like, it's subtle, it's good, it's very well written. Psychonauts 2 is, this is probably like Xbox's version, or this could be their version of like Ratchet and Clank. They don't change much. They improve upon the formula, and it works. So it's basically this is how Psychonauts 2 is. It's like a polished version of the first game, and it's good. And the music's excellent. The music's fantastic. It's like jazz renditions, and it goes in and out and does different types of genres with the music. And that's the one thing I've enjoyed the most. It looks great. It looks like a Nightmare Before Christmas type
and the next gen
claymation characters. It's done very well. It looks good on PS4. I can't imagine how it looks on the Series X, because this is not a native PS5 game. But it is so much better. It's one of the best looking games I've seen on PS4. I'm curious to see what it looks like on the Xbox, like a native Series X. But it looks so good. It's smooth. They kind of retconned some of his psychic abilities and just did some like the basic ones, and you get different ones in this one. Like you do, like I think mental connections, where you know how people have doubts, like failure. Like why would I do this? I should just go ahead and quit. I'm going to fail anyways. A mental connection, and you can go in there and manipulate them and do other stuff in their minds. Kind of like change their aspects that open up different levels and change different things in the game. And so the game, as it starts off, it kind of gives you the warm up. You're in the villain's mind from the second game. You're trying to figure out who set up everything. So you're in there and it's like a mess. So whoever hired him kind of like trained his mind, kind of like an Inception, to fight back. So you don't get the full story about who's running stuff behind the scenes. You figure out there's a mole in the Psychonauts. So you go to the HQ, land there, and as you go through, Raz, who was officially a Psychonaut in the first game, get demoted to an intern, and so he's in the intern program. So it's a lot of fun stuff, man. It's very well written, dude. It's really, really good. It's a good ass game. Like I said, I'm halfway through it. I'm going through the part where I'm trying to figure out who the mole is, And so there's the game opens up to an open world as well as the brain based levels that they always have in there. And so the open world is even more stuff you can collect down there. And I think I spent like 3 hours just collecting stuff and I think what was it called? The name. God, I lost my mouse.
Oh no!
There we go. No, it didn't take long. So it was called in the questionable area, which is the people who don't belong to the headquarters lives there. So it's like Raz's family comes and visit him, so they're forced over there. And so like there's no major story beat. It's like a side quest beat. And it's like you collect a whole bunch of different stuff. And as you go through there, you find out more about Raz's background and how his family felt about him running away from home. So it never feels like a chore. And it always feels like there's enough challenge in there where it kind of pulls you through to collect everything on there. And I think I collected everything, and I spent 3 hours in there. And it never felt like it was something that, all right, I have to do this to be a completionist. I did it because I actually had fun doing it. Basically. So I'm halfway through the game. I'm to the point where like Nathan John Smith, which is the guy who runs the mailroom. So apparently I'm part of the intern program, and that's my mentee. Is they gave me somebody in the mailroom. They didn't actually give me a psychic person. So they found him without a brain. So I'm going through this brain frame to pull a brain to put in his body to.
That's cool.
Kind of manipulate so I can get into certain areas with his access. So and it's funny because when they take the brains out, they're like just TV. That's all they say. TV. That's all they do. So like, there's a lot, man. Those games are deep. There's a lot I didn't even mention in the first game that happened story wise. But I think this is a big gig from Microsoft, man. This is like this, like I said, this could be their Ratchet and Clank. That could be their version of it. It doesn't play like Ratchet and Clank, but it's platforming that's well done. It doesn't change much, and it's like every Ratchet and Clank. They change little aspects of Ratchet and Clank, but it's always great. Never feels like a chore to play Ratchet and Clank or boring. And this is something they can do with Psychonauts. It's like they can make slight polishes to that core system, and it's still going to. So, like I said, I'm halfway through it. I'll probably try to finish up that game. But Psychonauts 2 is definitely one of my games of the year, man. That music is so freaking good. So, yeah.
That core
soundtrack is so good. That's the most impressive thing, man. Just the jazz renditions they have in there as I go through different areas, and it just flows through. This game is so well done. It's so polished. I don't know. That's a good question. I'll take a look for it later. But yeah, that's everything I played this week. I'll get back to the
aside from Matrix Awakens, I also got started on Halo Infinite's campaign.
Is it available anywhere?
I'm decently into it. I was talking with somebody today, and we got to talking about how cool that game is, and just everything about it is so well done. There are some repetitive bits to it. It does seem to be like the best part is definitely the exploration, like you were talking about, going around finding all these neat little things that are tucked away and having these truly unique Halo experiences that feel exactly like what you were saying. It feels like reliving Halo 1 almost in certain aspects. But you know what I'm talking about as far as like repetitive bits, it's like there's a part with this giant like drill. It's like a laser drill, and you've got to go and you've got to hit 3 things before you can turn it off. And then a little bit after that section, there's 3 anti-air cannons, and you've got to go to each one of those and decommission those, get those offline. And then after that, you're yeah. And then after that, you're trying to go into this one place, and the AI can't access it because the codes are different now. So there's 3 different like communication towers that all across the world that you've got to like go to and get sections of the code. And
so there's just gonna be
that part is repetitive. But I was about to say that it's the exploration, it's the story, and yes, the weapon. She's awesome. I just from the trailers, I knew I was gonna like her, but it's even it's better than I could have
You like the
imagined.
AI? You like
I
the
love
weapon?
I love her banter. I love just everything. It's so great.
She's incredible.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I'm having interesting experiences.
Yeah. She's a
Like
great
there was one
companion.
point where I kind of broke a fight.
Mhm.
Like what I was talking about with
She's
the
very
giant
self-aware, and I
laser
think that
drill thing.
they lean into that with that
Um,
character so much.
is before you go up there to decommission it and turn it off, there's a giant brute with a gravity hammer that pops up to fight you. And just adjacent to the room where he pops up and where the control panel is, there's a small room that's got two archways leading into it. And then it's got two ramps that go down to a lower section. And it's just a small little closed off room. So I go in there and I'm fighting him and I die once because he gets right up on me and slams me with that hammer. And so round two, I'm in there and I'm, oh yeah, yeah. Gotcha.
It's
Yeah.
very forgiving, by the way, when you die. 'Cause that's usually when Russell and
But
because
I'm
I'm
grappling to
limited
get
in my
away
play
from him,
because
and I
we
just
won't play without
grappled
each other.
that
So he's in
section
my save file.
above the arched
So when we
doorway to
die,
walk
we
in,
unlock a
and
new
there's like
hour
this
system
tiny
and we
lip
swap off.
above the
Because I got
doorway,
a
and I
sword
grappled
and a
up there,
sword man
and
into your
then
hammer. It's like,
Chief
okay,
just
sure.
stood there
Now you know he's there.
above the
The freaking
doorway.
invisible sword guy.
And well, no, he just I just stood there. Like I was still had full control of everything. I could jump down if I wanted to, but I was standing above this doorway, and the brute is just kind of walking back and forth with his gravity hammer. He won't jump. He's not he won't attack me while I'm up there. And no,
Supposing.
he's just standing there and he's like walking back and forth. And so I said, okay, this is it. So I just
Yeah.
stood there and shot him until he died. Um, but
You like freeze it up?
eventually, I mean, you there's these bases that you reclaim. They call them fobs, and you reclaim them. Um, yeah,
Hey, if the game
and
decides that's how the
so
battle should break down, that's how it
you
goes.
have all the soldiers and everything pop up there. That's where you can get different vehicles airdropped and things. And once you take control of those fobs, it opens up more sections around you, shows you like other points of interest. And sometimes there's more brutes and other stuff around you that are like high value targets and things like that. And one of them I just took care of. I mean, there were like 10 brutes in this area, and I really had to like. I died several times because he had like he had rockets, and turns out once I beat him, I got over there, and there's modified weapons, and you unlock these modified weapons. So I'm guessing there's a lot of these. Yeah, there's a bunch of different modified weapons. So, but this game, it's so freaking cool. I just got to a port where like banshees and everything are flying around, and I've commandeered some banshees, and that made getting from point A to point B a little easier. There's I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a glitch where people are you get like a warthog, you or deploy the what is that shield on it, and well, you hit it with the skewer and grapple it at the same time, and it will like send you flying all the way across the freaking world. Yeah, so might be something
Yeah,
to
you hit it
see if
with
I
the
can
gravity
try
hammer.
and time that and get that done before before they patch it
Yeah.
out. Just have that, yeah. But gosh, I mean, this game, I don't want to talk too much about all that goes on. Because I mean, yeah, you're playing it. Cesar hasn't started yet. But it's really, really good. Um,
Damn, you're
Yeah.
way further than I am. You took
it's
off.
odd.
Yeah.
And I've seen fun little Easter eggs. Like apparently somewhere there's just a giant sandwich.
Imagine like I don't understand.
There's a secret little.
I don't know how they make all these.
I
things work.
don't remember. I've just seen little clips.
It's so
There is a
random, all
Easter
the
egg
shit
that
you run into, it just-
it's a special little area kind of hidden. But if you find this little secret area and you go up into it, there's like a couple of chairs.
Oh.
There's
Where does one find the sandwich?
like a little table, a flat panel, and a OG Xbox sitting there. And the whole room is dark, but it's just like glowing green. There's like a green glow to it. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, but it's good, and I know there's a lot more to this game, and I want to get to it, and I'll see other things, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to know. I don't want to know about that.
I gotta see.
So
this.
you really got to be careful.
I need to see that like marked on.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've gotten on the multiplayer. Really, other than that, I haven't gotten a chance to play anything else. I did actually wind up watching the entire 6-part series of Power On, Xbox.
Yeah.
It's
I wanna
good.
get back to
It's
that
really good.
too.
You know, those episodes range anywhere from,
Yes.
you know, a little over 30 minutes to 40 something minutes, you know, depending on the episode, but they're done really well. You know, they don't shy away from the fact that
Is it good?
things were really hard to get it off the ground, and you know, then they started hitting their stride, and then you know they had several issues, you know, everything from the red ring and the whole debacle with bundling the Kinect with the original Xbox One, and price point, and the whole confusion with sharing games and this, that, and the other. It was, but all in all, it's a really, really well done little series, and of course you can watch it free on YouTube. So if
Oof. Yep.
I'll tell you one interesting little bit. Besides the fact that
Yeah.
in the beginning, to get a foothold,
Did
that
you learn-
Microsoft
is
tried
it
to buy
learned?
Nintendo.
All three of us are pretty well versed.
They
in
also,
history, I guess you
in
would say.
trying
Did you
to
learn much from it, or is it kind of a rehash
secure
of
some
everything
first
you've
party
already-
games, got approached by a company that was a little smaller company, and at the time, and they were about to reboot their franchise, and kind of reimagine it, and they thought, we're not really that interested, and they really didn't know if that company was going to last, and if the rebooting of the franchise was going to do well, and they passed. And the game that they passed on was GTA 3. Yeah. That would have been crazy for them.
I read this. Yeah.
There's some pretty good stuff in there.
Exclusive.
There's some really good stuff.
That would have been their launch
Between
game,
all
so
of
that
us,
would have been
I mean,
yeah.
it's something. It doesn't really take, like I
Yeah.
said, they're not super long episodes. You do have to devote a little bit of time to it, but
There's
it's
some new stuff
not
in
going to
there, some
take,
interesting
you know,
stuff.
forever to finish it up. And
Yeah.
for us, it's definitely enjoyable.
Power on.
It's, you know, what we nerd out about. And that's pretty much it for me.